And this is very important in reference to facts of history and timelines and facts of my life. That satellite controller just tried to accuse me again of being in his drug rehabilitation program. I've never done drugs, never been to no drug rehabilitation program. I've never been arrested, never had a criminal record, never done anything for this man to make up these fucking lies. And that man is one of the people that has been damaging my face and teeth with a satellite. What is the name of the parents of that person that you had in your drug rehabilitation program? And what court was this person in that you had a drug rehabilitation program for this person to be in? What is the name of the person? What is the DNA of the person? What does the person's fingerprints look like? What is the timeline of this person that has been in your drug rehabilitation program? Somebody wants you to know, dirty government man, or dirty task force, or dirty drug enforcement agent man. You've tried to murder me. You've cost me millions and billions of dollars with your fucking lies and your accusations of drugs. All the people that ever accused my parents of drugs, when my parents had got murdered by government, the government has to fix their lies. And it has to be publicly announced that my parents didn't do drugs. We need all the accusators in the courtroom, and they must get subpoenaed into court. Another thing, back to the point of this person that accused me of ever being in his drug rehabilitation program. I don't even know where the fuck that's at. I've never done drugs. You must get put on trial for trying to murder me and trying to steal my mother and father's estates with your drug accusations. Do you understand that, government man? You are trying to steal my mother and father's estates. You have damaged my teeth trying to call me a drug user, never used drugs, never been involved in drugs, and you have physically and sexually abused and assaulted me several fucking times in Indianapolis, Indiana. You have went to my jobs. You have called places where I've worked, slandering my character. You have mistaken my identity for somebody of some other race and some other religion, and you must get put on trial for the fucking death penalty. What college did this person go to that you claimed you thought I was this other person? This is 100% mistaken identity attempts of murder and estate fraud of this man trying to call me some other person that he had in his dirty drug enforcement rehabilitation program. I'm not toying with you, man. Anytime you've ever trespassed on me, every time you've ever touched me is attempted murder, and you must get put on trial for every single time you ever touched me, or every single time you trespassed on property, or every single time you've tampered with my career or my friends or slandered my character in any fucking way. Any way at all. If you stole any monies from me, or you stole any financial portfolio information in reference to my mother, Doris Duke, or my father, or in reference to my grandparents, if you stole it, there it is, the satellite motherfucker. Do you understand how they jerk a person around with their fucking satellite? They hit me in the back of the neck, too. Like, they made me cough, and then they hit me in the neck like that. Like you thought somebody was a Pez dispenser, you fucking fag? Back to the point. You are a very violent satellite controller. And you have done these things to me. You have accusated against me. You have physically assaulted me. And you know that causes throat bleeding, too. All the information and the timeline. What's the timeline of this person that was in your drug rehabilitation program? You know, I have royal diplomatic immunity forever, since the day I was born. And it says that in the Royal Protocol. Even the White House knows that. Did the news network go over to the White House and look up documents? Did they ask them for a copy of that to compare it with the media documents? It's very important. Your drug accusations, government man, is 100% attempts of murder. and you had tried to steal my mother and father's wealth and my trust funds and my companies and my sperm and blood with your drug accusations. Where's the time and place of all these drug accusations that you fucking made up? You have to appear in court and explain in detail every goddamn accusation you ever made up about me. And first of all, you better get it right who my biological parents are. And you don't have a right controlling my life. I'm not lowering my status for nobody and their fucking stupid bullshit, or anybody's bullshit, or even when they try to act believable. I'm not allowed to sacrifice my rights or my parents' estates or my freedom or any parts of my anatomy or my freedom of life or status for nobody. I am the only child of my mother and father. And your government agents must get put on trial for falsifying intentionally, confusing my identity intentionally, even after my mother had court cases in Indianapolis, Indiana. And we need the news networks from all 50 states to get copies of all the court cases that my mother and father had against the government and the court cases that my mother had against these people that kidnapped me back in the 80s, and any other time they ever kidnapped me, and any other time they tried to steal my penis or blood or sperm, or any other time that they injured me. And that man that tried to claim he thought somebody was in his drug rehabilitation program, that man needs to get put on trial. Come on, man, say where all this shit supposedly transpired. You claimed that somebody was a drug user. All my time is accounted for, man. And you've caused me facial damage and teeth damage with your fucking lies because you were trying to mutilate my looks, because you were trying to make me look like the person that you were intentionally trying to confuse my identity with. What schools did that man go to? Did that man go to private schools? Public schools? How expensive was the schools that person went to? We need you to explain in detail everything about that fucking person you're trying to confuse my identity with. And you need to get prosecuted, you fucking dirty, sick, nasty pervert. And in reference to all these people that are trying to steal my mother and father's estates, there is documents that say that those people have to be charged with child molestation. See, even though I'm an adult, I have the status of history of my mother and father, and I have the status as a baby, and all the statuses forever, because I had injuries when I was a child, when I was a baby, from these government people trying to steal my mother and father's estates. And my parents were senior citizens when they had gotten murdered, even though they had long lifespans. So in reference to the fact of the government trying to murder me, my status is forever. No matter what age or a person or gender you tried to use to steal from me or to try to frame me, they must get prosecuted no matter who the fuck they are. But back to the point of this man accusing me, thinking that he thought he was going to try to find a loophole in my royal diplomatic immunity for his race or his religion of their people trying to steal my mother and father's estates. That man has to get prosecuted. I'm not playing your tricks. My parents didn't owe you nothing. I don't owe you nothing. And the U.S. government owes me a lot of money from what they have allowed this man to trespass, when they've allowed this man to trespass, and his satellite abuse and satellite mutilations and his gay sexual assault and his attempts of raping me and his attempts of trying to mess with my rear end and my penis and balls. This man trying to steal my blood and damaging my teeth and face. And this man trying to play his satellite x-ray shit. In reference to the fact that I've had to work and these people have stolen benefits from me because they were trying to lower me to confuse me with some other person that didn't have trust funds, that didn't have lawsuits, that didn't have insurance, that didn't have a history of wealth and prosperity and accomplishments that are documented in the media and in sports and other things. This man was trying to steal everything from me. And the man must get prosecuted for his lies and whatever race he is and what religion he is. And that satellite man's still burning my teeth. They were burning my teeth when I was working at the Indy 500 track today. Now, in reference to the information, back to the point in reference to my mother and father and the per diem and financial standard of living that my mother and father had set up for me, such as monies that I was supposed to receive on a weekly basis and things like that. That needs to be advertised in the media. Because these government people are trying to play this trick of slandering my character as their way of trying to control my life, as their way of trying to steal my mother and father's estates with their goddamn lies. And all my time is accounted for. So whoever this man is making up shit with his conspirators that are drug addicts or FBI or CIA kidnappers, that was people that kidnapped me back in the 80s, but then they changed their names or they changed their identities or they got plastic surgery or they tried to steal, they've been stealing my postal mail, or they tried to steal the identity of my mother and father, or they tried to play their tricks, whoever these people are. They must get put on trial for their crimes. Laws of Elliot Ness say those people must get put on trial for their crimes.